Hey, we're here at Selah House again, and this time we're talking with Todd Davis. And you're in charge of family therapy here, so tell us a little bit about what that is.
Yeah, well, I'm just kind of the liaison between the families and the clients here. And something that makes us unique is I'm also in a lot of the groups as well. So within the groups, I can help empathize with the families and bring that aspect in to group therapy and individual therapy, in an attempt to try to empathize with family as well as the clients, because it impacts everybody.
It really does, and I think a lot of times, and you could tell me if this is right in your work here, but I think the client or the person with the eating issue often thinks, nobody understands me, and because there's kind of a selfishness that's inherent with addictive behaviors. And so I think it is so important to be able to see the family member who doesn't know what to say and feels so like they can't help, and getting through all of that stuff so that everybody sees that we're all affected by this thing together.
Everybody's impacted, and oftentimes the client has they don't have the denial of facts. They know that they have an eating disorder, but often they have the denial of impact. They don't realize that it impacts everybody. And the whole family gets organized around ED, that we call, like everybody gets organized around the eating disorder, and not just the client. It's not just the client that's impacted. And so helping the family members that say things that they're motivated out of love, but often they charge in and try to take care of, try to rule or dominate dominate the gal, try to fix the problem, and in doing so they can oftentimes give a wrong message, but helping the families understand that they're doing that motivated out of love.
See, there's not a lot of things that help the families, like say outside of a treatment setting, don't they feel like they're just kind of twisting in the wind out there, kind of trying to figure it out?
Often feel completely powerless. Families can feel in such chaos, and feel like all of their feelings get stuffed. And that's exactly what we're trying to tell the clients, to not stuff or numb their emotions. And oftentimes families perpetuate that out of, they don't want to overburden their daughters or wives or whoever, but in so stuffing their own feelings, they can perpetuate that same cycle, and not
even realize it. And I should mention, as we're talking about this, that we do have here on the site several clips that do offer some specific things when you're trying to help someone with an eating issue. I should just mention that if you type in helping others on the search box. So when you guys do Family Week here, what happens?
Sure. We have a couple of days that we really want to. The first thing that we do is education, and we really want to draw the families in. We really want to be individualized within that, and so we try to bring a couple of families in at the same time. That really helps for validation when you have two mothers, two fathers that are going through the same thing. That's we really try to educate them. Within that, we do a family equine therapy, or a family
equine horses.
Horses, yes. And
so the parents get on the horses too?
Well, a lot of times it's equine therapy can be that where sometimes they ride, but also sometimes they're trying to get through an obstacle course together. And so we're looking at those metaphors of whether they work together, whether the client communicates, whether you can have a daughter or a wife who she's struggling, for example, but she's not communicating, and families trying to help, but they're either taking charge, or they're in their fear of doing the wrong thing. They're standing back and not engaging at all in the process, and so you can get a vacillation between that and again really trying to help the families, draw them back to the attachment and the bond that they do desire. I mean, families come here and they wouldn't be here, they wouldn't go after treatment if they didn't deeply love their loved one. They want to be on the same page, and we really, so part of our process is being the midwife that helps birth them back to the intimacy that they so long for.
How do you facilitate helping a young person who I would imagine some of your clients are younger.
Absolutely.
How do you facilitate helping them understand that their parents are just as flawed and broken as they are? Because this is something that I see pop up in our groups a lot, where the idea is that mom and dad are right, so I must be wrong.
Right.
But understanding that, wow, mom's insecure, mom has issues with her body, dad's afraid. You know, how do you help facilitate that?
Starting by helping them understand that very truth, that to be human, we have dignity and we have depravity. That's to be human. We have glory, and yet we have sin and depravity. We have both. And so part of recovery is the invitation back to humanness. And so part of that is to being even if there was a perfect parent out there, which there isn't. But even if there was, all that would teach a daughter or a son is anxiety. That if mom and dad is perfect, then if there's ever a problem, then I'm wrong. And the standard is perfection. So even if they're like that, in the best case scenario, it would cause anxiety.
Yeah.
Because if I earn love, then I can lose it.
Right. So actually, it's kind of good news to the parents that they're not perfect, and that they could just admit that and say that, because then those of us who are their children, no matter how old we get, would feel like, hey, we're all in this together. I love what you said. You said it's an invitation to
grace.
And to human.
The invitation to be human again.
Yeah, that's huge. Gosh, I think we could talk for a really long time, and we are going to talk with him in another segment. But thank you for telling us a little bit about the Family Week, and we'll see you guys in another clip.